So all I can really say with this week's episode of Gamers is this show never ceases to amaze me with how it can keep implementing new ways to misunderstand situations and make it still amusing. This week, everything kind of comes full circle with Chiaki as well as Amano, but it happens in a not so great way for how this cast dynamic should be going. Because everything was kind of revealed to Chiaki last week that her online friend and the one person who always gave her praise for her games when everyone else kind of just shut them down and said they were horrible and she should stop making games, turned out to be the guy that she was hating and thought she should hate. And I love how the episode kind of like starts off showing the flashback, showing how she was feeling, but then she starts like a conversation with her sister, saying something along the lines of like, you know how in like anime and manga you have those situations where the girl starts liking the horrible guy because he saved a puppy or something like that, and how these feelings are wrong and she's not going to do that, but she can't help because at the end of the day, the one person who always gave her comfort with her hobbies and also gave her comfort in an online community is the guy that she thought she was supposed to hate. So of course, it's not going to be like she can just go back to how she was feeling for Amano. She is starting to fall in love with him. But what I like is something really unexpected that I wasn't predicting. The only time I thought to myself she was going to give the name and identity of Mono and all these other personas she has online to her sister is when she wakes up from the bed, because in the room when she's like fumbling around saying, don't look at my phone, don't look at my computer, everything's turning on, you're just like, okay, things are going to get very interesting. How is Amano going to take this reaction? And then her sister pops up and she's just like, that's her. I'm just thinking to myself, are you serious, gamers? You're really going to play us like this, where you're going to implement another misunderstanding, but this time, it's a willingly, like, placed misunderstanding. The character who could have revealed everything, she probably could have had Amano as her boyfriend. There's so many ways that could have went, but she's just like, nah, we're just gonna give it to my sister. And then she has to talk for her sister for like 10 minutes to explain the situation. And I love the stuff with her sister because like when they're out in the public there and she's pretty much having all these waves of emotion, like she's feeling happy that this guy is like saying all these nice things to her, but she's also guilty because it's not actually her. It's just such a weird misunderstanding for misunderstandings the anime, and it makes it damn funny to me. This series at the core is very ridiculous and very stupid, but that's why I like it. Because even though Amano himself is building up a harem pretty much, it's the most weirdly formed harem I think I've seen in anime in quite a while. All of these characters just have no idea what the hell's going on. I mean, Ohara pretty much is just thinking to himself like, what the hell is going on? I'm rooting for Chiaki. Now Chiaki thinks Ohara likes her, when in fact he's just saying, I'm choosing you for Amano kind of a thing. This series is absolutely ridiculous. But that's why I think a lot of us are liking it, because even when we think things could go on a very normal path, they never do. When you actually look at Gamers as a core foundation, it's very repetitive in the sense that it's just misunderstanding after misunderstanding, and depending on who we're focusing on. But the very interesting thing with Gamers is how it can just implement new misunderstandings in a different way that makes it feel kind of fitting for the anime that it's in, but at the same time make it feel refreshing, when really it's not refreshing. We're just seeing a new misunderstanding. But how they actually implement all these different ones, you can't really say many of these misunderstandings are the same as the other, besides the name pretty much. They all feel like they have their own charm to them, and I'm going to be interested if we're going to see any more of these misunderstandings, because we're so close to the end of this season and there's so many ways that they can take these characters. But I stick by what I keep saying, the only way for a show such as this to end, if they do want to give it some sort of ending, depending, because I know the source material is ongoing, but the only way to end a series like this is for these characters to just part ways, because there's too much confusion and just people not understanding what's truly going on. Now these characters I don't think can coexist peacefully by the time the misunderstandings come to an end. This series is just so ridiculous. I mean, I would love for it to have some sort of good stopping point, because I do wonder if there was another 12 episodes of this, if I would get burnt out, because even though I'm not right now, I feel like 12 to 13 episodes is the proper time frame for a series such as this, and I don't think I would want much more. So even if we don't get a satisfying ending, just enough of a stopping point is all I really ask for a series such as this. But I really have to say, the OST in this series has actually been pretty interesting. It doesn't feel like they're reusing a lot of tracks. Like when you have these backing tracks, it feels like they have quite a large variety of assortment tracks that they've been using. They all have their kind of different charm, these kind of like very quiet instrumental tracks that are just really good backing tracks that I think I'll use for future analysis or reviews, things like that, because the OST is surprisingly well done in this series, and I quite enjoy it. But yeah, the facial reactions on Chiaki this week were just absolutely amazing. had me laughing, and I'm just really curious if there isn't going to be a reveal of how everything's actually working until the end of the series, and then everyone realizes who everyone is, and they're just like, well, I guess we can't function anymore. I'm just curious how a series like this truly would end. If I am right, they are just gonna kind of part ways, or if just some people are gonna end up properly together. I have no idea, but really, this was a very fun episode. I liked how it started out, showing us a bit of the backstory, and it was really an episode kind of given in Chiaki's perspective. It really was focused on her and how she was reacting, which I quite appreciated because she's been more of a supporting character for a while. So it's nice to see her have like an episode where it's really focusing on her mentality, her reactions, things like that. And it made it for a very interesting episode for me and one of my favorites of the series so far. I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm excited to see where the relationship between her sister, and Hamano is going to go, especially with the misunderstandings with Uehara on the phone. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of this Chiaki focus episode, and how excited are you for next week? Let me know, and before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. For the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.